Hello, 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 everybody. We are so excited and grateful to have you back here with us on this evening. We appreciate you and we truly, truly, truly thank you for joining us here this afternoon of this evening here on Health Talk. Listen, we are super excited. We are in episode number 5. Remember, for the entire month of July, between the hours of 8 and 8:30, we will be coming to you live here on Health Talk. And we are so super, 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 super excited to have you to join us. Okay? I know you've enjoyed the last few sections that we've done because I have really enjoyed sharing it with you. We've had some amazing feedback, and we really appreciate you because those feedback means a lot to us. Lets us know that you are uh, receiving the messages that we're trying to get out to you and that you are enjoying the podcast. And we do thank you. We do thank you. So I encourage and ask that if you are not following us on Facebook, on our Health Talk page, please go over there and follow us on Health Talk on the Facebook channel. And if you're not following us on our YouTube channel, head on over there to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you can get notification each time we upload new material. Again, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Uh, we are getting ready to start our episode for tonight. And as we said, we are in episode number 5, and it is how trauma affects the body, a holistic look. And if we were to select or use a title, the title for this one will be Your Body Remembers What Your Mind Tries to Forget. All right? So get in touch with a loved one, get in touch with a friend, call somebody, tag somebody, send them an IM, send them a message, and let them know that He Cares Health Talk is on the air, and we've got a powerful, powerful message here for you tonight that I think you're going to find very beneficial, very informative. So you want to share. So call a friend, text a friend, let them know we're on the air and we're about to get started. All right, my friends. So as you know, before any of our episode, uh, we would like to do our little did you know moment. And I appreciate someone in the response said to us how the did you know moment made an impact, on them. And we appreciate feedbacks like that. It helps us um, to make sure we're bringing you material and information that is beneficial and useful to you. So, again, all of those that have left feedbacks, comments, we appreciate it. It helps us tremendously. It helps us to make sure that we have the material and the information that is very beneficial to you. Okay? So, as we get started, did you know? Here's our facts for the day. Are you ready? Did you know that chronic trauma can actually shrink parts of your brain? Mm. Especially what is called the hippocampus. And this is the area that helps with memory and learning. That's right. Chronic trauma actually shrinks part of your brain, and specifically the area of the brain known as the hippocampus campus, and this area is responsible for helping with memory and learning. Trauma doesn't just affect the mood, it doesn't just affect how you feel, okay? It physically changes your brain. Let's talk about it. Welcome to He Cares Health Talk Podcast, where education is ministry and healing starts with truth. I'm your host, Dr. Ferris Corbett, and today's episode is one we all need, and that is how trauma affects the body. Now, you may have heard, you may have healed from the moment. You may have healed from the moment of the trauma. But if you still flinch, freeze up, overreact, or shut down, or get those queasy feeling in your stomach, your body still may be holding on to that trauma. I think I say that one more time. You may have healed from the moment, but if you're still flinching, freezing up, overreacting, shutting down, getting those butterflies in your stomach, your body may still be holding on to that trauma. Now, we often think of trauma as something that lives in the past, but it lives also in the nervous system, in the breath, in the gut, and even in your immune system. Trauma isn't just emotion, it's not emotional only, but it is also physical, and your body keeps the score. That is something powerful, people. That even though we think we've moved on from that trauma, but that it yet continues to reside and live within our nervous system, in our breathing, our breath, in our guts, in our stomach, and even within our immune system. So what is trauma really? What is it? Trauma is not just what happened to you. It's what's happened of you as a result. It's not just what happened. It's not that thing, that situation, that circumstance that happened to you, but it is what happened inside of you as a result of that situation, of that circumstance. Now, trauma can come from multiple sources. It can come from abuse, whether it's emotional abuse, physical abuse, or sexual abuse. It can also come from neglect or abandonment. It can also come from things such as loss or grief. It can come from chronic stress, people dealing with poverty situation, people dealing with racism, people dealing with domestic violence. And also, and this is to me personally, this is the part that is so disturbing and so troubling to me, is that it can also come from church hurt or spiritual abuse. Yeah, think about that. Think about it. So, how the body reacts to trauma. I know some of you may or may not have heard of what's called the flight or fight response, meaning what that's meaning is when you are faced with a circumstance where trauma is occurring, you're ready to fight, duke it out, or you ready to flee. But it also reacts by what is called freeze. You freeze up. You don't know how to respond. You become numb. You're just frozen in time. Or you may what they call fawn, FAWN. your body goes into survival mode. All these things are survival mode. The flight, the fight, the freeze, the fawn, all these are survival mode. This is the body's natural response to survive any type of circumstances such as trauma that is it experiencing. Also, what happens within the body when trauma occurs is that the stress hormone that is like cortisone, it stays elevated long after the event is occurred. So even after the traumatic situation has occurred and is done and over with, that stress hormone within the body called cortisol, it stays elevated. Now, some common symptoms that are associated includes things like digestive issues. So people that are suffering from IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or suffering from acid reflux. This is the body way of reacting to trauma that may still be residing within the body. Because remember we said earlier that it resides in the nervous system, it resides in your guts, it resides in your breath, it resides in your immune system. So as a result, these symptoms begin to manifest, such as digestive issue, as I said, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or acid reflux. Also, chronic chronic fatigue. Yes, yes, that's something to think about there now. So a lot of people that are dealing with chronic pain or chronic fatigue, maybe because that traumatic experience is still residing in the body somewhere. Individuals that suffer from a lot of frequent headaches or migraines, those individuals that have trouble sleeping or have issue with nightmares, emotional numbness or overactivity. Or emotional numbness is you don't have that empathy, you don't have that apathy, you just whatever. Emotional numbness, whatever. So if you find yourself overthinking, or if you find yourself over apologizing or isolating yourself, your nervous system might still be in a protection mode from whatever trauma that occurred. It could have occurred 20 years ago. It could have occurred 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago. But if you find yourself overacting, overthinking, over apologizing, or isolating yourself, your nervous system might be still in that protection mode. I've got to protect myself from this trauma. Now, science supports this struggle. The adverse childhood experience, or what we call ACE, are directly linked to things such as heart disease, diabetes, depression, substance abuse, and shortened life expectancy. So, what am I saying? What we call adverse childhood experiences or ACEs, meaning those traumatic situations that occurred in our childhood that we never addressed, that we never gotten taken care of, that are still residing in our body, they're now beginning to manifest in things physically, such as I said, heart disease, diabetes, depression, substance abuse, and shortened life expectancy. So, people, trauma has a tremendous effect on the body, and in order we must deal with that trauma, we must face that trauma, we must address that trauma, and just deal with it head on. Can no longer avoid it. We must address it. So, what does healing look like? Healing looks like trauma informed therapy or support groups. We here at He Cares Training and Education Center, we do provide trauma informed therapy, and we also have support group for individuals suffering from any type of traumatic situation. So if that's something that is interesting you, please reach out to us and let us set you up a session and get you started. Okay? Healing also looks like breath work, grounding exercise, and safe movement like yoga. And when we say breathe work, there are certain relaxation technique called mindfulness, those things like that, and that grounding exercise and safe movement, yoga, tai chi, things of that nature. Healing also looks like you ain't got no problem sleeping. I know that's not proper way to say it, but you ain't got no problem sleeping. You're making sure yourself is good and hydrated, and you have a consistent routine. Also, healing looks like faith-based, faith meaning forgiveness and release, meaning that even that person that caused you to experience that traumatic event, you forgive them if they never come to you and ask you to forgive them, if they never acknowledge that they did anything wrong to you, you forgive them anyway. Because forgiveness is not for them, forgiveness is for you. Because remember, that traumatic event is constantly residing in your nervous system, your gut, your immune system. So when you release it, when you let that thing go or let that person go and forgive them, even if they do not forgive you, I cannot stress that enough. You will find yourself becoming at peace. You'll find yourself being able to sleep. Now, you won't get those quivering feelings every time that person's name is mentioned or you come around that person. Why? Because you've forgiven them and you release them. Okay? Psalms 34 and 18 says to us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit." God doesn't want to just save your soul. He wants to restore your nervous system, your mind, your memory, and your wholeness. In other words, He wants to not just save your soul, but He wants to make you whole. And when you're still dealing with traumatic situations, traumatic issues, you're not whole. You may be saved, you may be filled with the Spirit, but if you're still holding on to traumatic issues, traumatic circumstances, you are not whole. Because remember, in previous podcasts, we said that mental illness and trauma is a mental illness, it is a health condition. All right, so tonight's capaway or takeaway is trauma isn't just emotion, it lives in the body. If you feel stuck, your nervous system may be frozen in that survival mode. Healing is possible, but it starts with awareness and safe support. That's the purpose of us bringing you this episode tonight about how trauma affects the body, a holistic look. This is the beginning, the start of the healing process because now you are aware. Now we're bringing some awareness to you of how trauma affects you. Trauma affects you in ways that you probably, from tonight's episode, never thought about that it would affect you in such a way that it has. And when we say safe support, finding that place or that person that you can release yourself to, someone that you can just pour out and let them know all about the traumatic situation. You may not go into every detail, but you feel safe in that moment to share this with them. Someone that you know that you can trust. And I want you to know that we here at He Cares Training and Education Center LLC, we offer you that safe support. We offer you that safe space so that you can release yourself. So reach out to us. We're here for you. We'll do what we can to help you and get you to that place of healing, to get you onto that road of deliverance and healing. All right, partners and family, I know this episode may have stirred up some things, but I pray it also stirred up some hope. Your body is not betraying you, it's trying to protect you. But now it's time to show your body what safety and healing looks like. Okay? Remember, we at He Cares Training and Education Center LLC, we provide you that safe space. We provide you that opportunity to begin that healing. All right, be sure to join us tomorrow night, the Lord's will, between the hours of 8 and 8:30 as we talk about self-care, the actual self-care that actually is sustainable because you cannot pour from an empty cup. This is an episode, to me, all of them are fantastic. All of them are very well worth it. But tomorrow, the Lord's will, you don't want to miss the episode tomorrow because we're going to talk about self care that actually is sustainable because you cannot pour from an empty cup. We'll talk about that more tomorrow night. All right. Until then, breathe deep, drink water, take care of the vessel God gave you. And remember, if you're not following us on our Health Talk Facebook page, please go on over there and follow us. And don't forget, give us a thumbs up. Okay? Also, share this. Share this with somebody. Somebody you know that is dealing with trauma, or somebody you think may be dealing with trauma. Share this information to them. Let's begin to heal one another and let's begin to heal our community. All right? Also, go over to our Health Talk YouTube page. Please, 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 and subscribe there. Once you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so that you can get notification every time we upload or come alive with new material. Okay? Again, this is Dr. Ferris Corbett signing off with truth, compassion, and covenant love. Don't forget the Lord's will. Tomorrow night we will be back between the hours of 8 and 8:30. And for the remainder of the month of July, we will be coming on every night between those hours to bring you a new episode. All right. We hope you've gotten something out of this episode tonight and that it has been food for you. Okay. All right. Until tomorrow night, the Lord's will. Take care. God bless you. We love you. Goodbye.